And turning back now to our storm watch. Flood concerns are growing with the rising waters along the Cosumnes River in Jackson. The river is less than a foot from flood monitoring stage. NOAA projects flooding to start for the Cosumnes River as early as noon Saturday. The last major flood event in that area was in February 2017, with the river cresting at 15.1 feet. Flooding is our country's #1 natural disaster, yet many property owners are not prepared. I talk one-on-one with FEMA to find out what you can do now to make sure you're protected when floods hit.
It's important to remember that an inch of flooding can result in $25,000 in damage.
That's $25,000 you might have to pay out of pocket. Standard homeowners and renters insurance does not cover flood damage, and the government isn't always able to help with the bill.
The majority of disasters are never declared as federal disaster areas, and therefore our disaster programs aren't turned on.
If you get flood insurance for your property, most residential flood insurance is provided through the National Flood Insurance Program, which is administered by FEMA.
So if you buy flood insurance tomorrow morning, then that policy becomes effective in 30 days.
Meaning it might be too late to get coverage for this weekend's storm. But there are things you can do right now. Take pictures of your property, have a communication plan with your family, turn off your utilities, and never drive or walk through standing water.
Every year, flooding causes more deaths than any other natural disaster, and the majority of those deaths are people who either drive or walk into flooding, don't realize how deep it is, and are swept away.
FEMA wants you to know your zone, but also to know that it can flood outside the high-risk areas.
40% of the flood claims that we've paid in earlier years have been in areas outside of high-risk flood zones.
Finding your flood risk is easy. You can do it online through FEMA's website. Simply type in your address and check the legend to see where it falls.
For example, Natomas, a well-known flood zone, is highlighted in blue, labeled as a special flood hazard area.
I also want to let you know FEMA told me Sacramento County has some of the biggest discounts for flood insurance, thanks to communities taking protective measures in the National Flood Insurance Program. Roseville pays the best rate in the country, earning a 45% reduction. You can find your home's flood risk right now. We have links to that FEMA website that I just showed you and other flood zone maps on our website, abc10.com.